Oh, yes, okay. So the agenda is confirmed. Any delegations? None. And correspondence? We have none. Right into the reports then. The first one is the CM 1816, the Google Arts and Culture Appreciation Project. And Sylvia, I understand you're going to be speaking to this, so welcome.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Okay. Good evening, thank you. So yes, this goes with our, a little presentation goes with our report that we've submitted. So just a little background, Google Arts and Culture is an application that lots of institutions use around the world that you can visually and virtually tour a museum without having to be in the space. So I will get started on our presentation. Does everyone have it on their screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Okay, so why Google Arts and Culture? The app enables our museum to showcase artifacts, making the collection available to the public and increase accessibility. It gives our museum a shared global platform with larger scale notable institutions such as the Art Gallery of Ontario, the Vancouver Art Gallery, and then more recently, the Niagara Historical Society Museum. The Google Arts and Culture platform serves as an advertising platform, generating increased visitorship online and, in turn, inspiring audience growth. As museum staff begin to pack our collection for the impending move back to Jordan, this application will serve as an online exhibition space. Through images and supplementary information, the staff can curate exhibits that will keep the collection and history in the public eye, so anyone can access it at any point. After the Museum and Cultural Center perfects this application, it can be transitioned to encompass historical and cultural aspects within the town of Lincoln. So I had a chat with my colleagues at the Niagara Historical Society Museum and asked them about their, how they feel about how the application has helped them in their organization. So because they're not a municipally owned museum and they don't have the funding for a costly website, so this is a free application. There's no cost associated with it. And it allows the museum to conduct outreach digitally to the community to promote their history. And you can see the top right picture, I took a snapshot of what their homepage looks like on the application. And then on the lower left corner, you see a part of an online exhibit they conducted. So it's Loyalist Settle in Niagara. And what's wonderful about this application is that in that picture you see, I believe it's not a button, but a, now I've lost the word, something, pretend we know what it is. And you can click on it and you can actually zoom into that image and see all the little details of what's on there. And that's very, very different from what we do in museums, where usually you can't really get so close to artifacts. In this way, you can actually see every little tiny detail on something because you're able to zoom in and see it. So that's a really cool feature of this application. The staff of the museum let us know that it helps them be viewed more globally. The application allows the museum to archive past exhibits digitally so that they may be viewed beyond the point of physical installation at the museum. So if we install an exhibit and we take it down in 4 months, we can have that exhibit online forever if we want. Since their launch in April 2018, the Niagara Historical Society Museum has seen over 1,000 homepage visits, 239 exhibit pages visits, and 835 items viewed from their collection that they have uploaded online. And then I just have a little video, so bear with me. I don't have sound.
space and time, in the places we love, and with the people of our past. Art has changed the way we see the world and the way we see each other. We started with simple tools for food and fire, and then carved statues of myths and heroes. And we built monuments to last forever. There is so much to see, learn, and experience. With the Google Arts and Culture app, you can immerse yourself in 360-degree views using Google Cardboard. Or zoom in to reveal the secrets of a masterpiece. Discover inspirational moments, iconic people, and artistic wonders. Search by time or even color. Save your favorites and share them with the world. Explore more with Google Arts and Culture. Download the app and get inspired every day. Where will you start?
And I'll go back, just one little fun feature with this. So you'll see on the pages, there's a picture of our staff, and it's a selfie feature within the application itself. So you can take a picture of yourself, and it actually maps out your face and matches you with an artwork, with a famous artwork. So, and again, that's another way of matching you with places all around the world. So as you can see, we're all sort of matched with different artworks from all around the globe. And I mean, when we upload we have portraits in our collection at the museum. So if we upload those, someone can take a picture and then be matched with us. So it's a fun, interesting, educational piece that I think is very neat and unique to us. And that's it. Any questions?
Sure. Any questions? Rob?
Thanks. Actually, this looks really cool, and lead me through a little bit here the actual making this work, because obviously, you know, these things just don't happen. So this is going to be a push on to staff to go and do things. My expectation is that, like, our key pieces within the museum will have to be staged appropriately, et cetera, et cetera. So are you if we go down this road, are you foreseeing like what level of work do you think is going to be involved with it?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it does take some work. I have already uploaded 61 pieces to this. It does take some work. You are in correspondence with a Google Arts and Culture administrator. So if you have any questions, Google's wonderful at helping you. I also, like I said, have a colleague that has already done this with Niagara Historical Society Museum, and she's lovely and willing to help. So if I have any questions, but again, it took me probably about, I'd say a week to upload the content that I want so far. But you have to, again, go in and edit what you want, what you don't want. So it does take some time, but because we have a database already of our collection and we have great photographic material, we can use that, and I already have sources that I can pull from within our own database that I can use at the ready. Anything that I want to add, I can go ahead and take a photo and add the information.
Okay.
So
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. So that sounds good. I think you were mentioning that, and by the way, I totally agree with you. As we make the move, of course, mind you, we're not there yet, but as we make the move back to Jordan again, this will be good to keep, you know, culture and arts and things in sort of the movement. Although I would suggest to you probably the changeover going back isn't going to be that long, but I think where you're going is you really want this to be a basis for all of your items in the future. Is that fair to say?
Maybe not all the items. I think especially in this next year where the push is going to be on us to get everything packed up and ready for the move, I think being able to curate exhibits online on an online forum is going to help us dramatically. We can have in-house exhibits, of course, but having a presence online, and maybe it's kind of a specialty to have something online and maybe not in person, that people will, want to see something that's a little different that they didn't expect from us. So I think we can play that up to our advantage.
Yeah. One last thing, and just it sort of follows along with your idea of showing people through the museum. Like, I think that should be on our website anyway, let alone being made use of Google. But I would like to see you working with the technical staff or the IT staff, because I think things like our arenas, I think the library would be another good example of sort of bringing in and showing what it is that we have. Like pretty much all key facilities within the town. I think it would be excellent to sort of expand that just even a little bit further. So, yeah, go ahead.
Sarah, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that is an excellent point. A lot of municipalities do have 360-degree virtual tours of facilities. So what I'll do is I can connect with our communication staff. I'm not sure that our current website has that capability, but perhaps that's something that can be built in for 2019. And we can work with our IT staff as well. So I will follow up on that and provide an update.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I saw this, I was very excited. And I have the app. I downloaded the app. I have my selfie, but I'm not showing anyone. And I think it's fabulous. I love to be an armchair tourist and to be able to go and look at artifacts and different museums anywhere you want is the way we're going.
Yes.
Like, this is the future, right? People will be able to go online and look at anything they want. And I think it's great. I love it. And will you be archiving? You'll be keeping it on as an archive so
Yes.
people can always go back?
Yes, absolutely. So, for instance, if we have an exhibit that we put up and it's wonderful, we can upload it online, and that can stay forever on there. Once it comes down in the museum, it'll forever be up on Google Arts and Culture. So if anybody is ever looking for something or needs to know or doing research, it'll be there for them.
I think it's great. I love it. You can zoom in for details. And I'm thinking about people with accessibility issues who maybe can't actually physically get to the museum but can go online and look at everything that's there.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's a fabulous idea.
Great.
So I have to find some more time, though, because I didn't have much time to fool around with the new app, but I did the selfie, and that was about it. I had to get off. But I'm anxious to look, see who's all on there and what I can look at. So thanks for bringing this forward, Sylvia.
Thank you.
So just a couple of questions for me. One of the things you said at the very beginning was that you were perfecting the application.
Yes.
Does that mean, or what does that mean?
So basically, I'm learning how to upload all the information. So first and foremost, you have to learn how to input your metadata. So everything that you want, for instance, if I'm uploading something about this mouse, it's all the information about the mouse. So who it's made by, what it does, who it belonged to, things like that. Those things have to be input into a large spreadsheet, and then you have to attach your image to it. So once you have picked the items that you want to launch your page with, then you can actually contact your administrator with Google, and then you can start designing what your page is going to look like and how it's going to unfold.
So so we've made the application and got permission to go ahead with this from Google.
Yes, so
Yes, okay.
yes, yeah, we've contacted Google and made that connection already.
And at what stage are we at now with the whole process?
We're at the stage of uploading the items that we want
Okay.
to showcase first off.
And that's, so there would be multiple choices, and then you decide which ones you want to upload?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Then, once that's done, how does the public access that information from Google?
Once we go live, it'll just be on the application. I anticipate that we will make a public announcement. We'll probably do something in the newspaper and make it public that we are also part of Google Arts and Culture and spread the word that way ourselves. But it will become, once we are given the go-ahead, it will become live on the application and anyone, anywhere can access it.
Access through the museum or through the town's website?
We can,
The
we
town
can
website
certainly
and then the
link it.
museum?
Yes, we can certainly link it to the town website where people can click on a link and access it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds exciting. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much, Sylvia.
Thank you.
And I have a motion on the this report. It's moved by Councillor Timmers and seconded by Councillor Foster that report CM 18-16 regarding the Google Arts and Cultural Application implementation of the Town of Lincoln Museum and Cultural Center received as information. I just have one question to the motion. It doesn't say anything about permission to go ahead, or is that necessary because you've already started? So we're just receiving the information at this point?
Let me just see this. It's being received as information.
Yeah.
So, what are you, no, it's just already, it's not asking for permission.
It's already in
receiving this.
process.
It's already in process.
Okay, okay. Any questions to the motion then? In favor? Okay, the motion is carried. Okay, the second report is the pickleball court development, and this is under your signature, Sarah, so are you...
Sure. Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. This report is in response to a delegation that committee saw up here in May of this year. You'll probably remember them. They were quite enthusiastic about the sport of pickleball and the developments across North America. After that presentation, they did ask committee to consider the development of an outdoor pickleball space. And so staff have spent a little bit of time reviewing industry standards and best practices for design, as well as what other communities are doing really all across Canada and specifically here in Ontario and the Niagara region. You'll note in the report in the appendix that both the City of Welland and the Town of Niagara-on-the-Lake received almost identical requests from their communities in May as well. So I don't know if there was some kind of pickleball conspiracy going on in May, but so we have reached out to those municipalities to determine what their course of action will be, and they haven't had their reports brought forward to their committees yet. So I will be able to share some details of those, but not in their entirety. So staff in this report are proposing a number of short-term solutions as well as some that are a little more future-focused to satisfy the need in the community that's been presented to committee. The first short-term solution is the lining of pickleball courts at the Fleming Center, which you'll have in your package some pictures of very recently, as last week, 3 courts were installed in the Fleming Center, and I can tell you that staff worked with the user group to identify what the need was, what those courts should look like, right down to the finer details of what color the line should be. They're very excited. Our seniors group have been playing there for the month of June on Tuesday mornings, and we're getting about 25 to 30 seniors on average out to use them, which is fantastic. We are just commencing this week our summer drop-in programming at the Fleming Center. So on Thursday evenings, we'll have an opportunity for all ages pickleball drop-in. Friday and Saturday will be for youth only, and then Sundays will be open to families. So we're actively collecting and evaluating the usership of these courts this summer with the intention of seeing if this is something we would like to do future in the Jordan Arena potentially for next summer as well, so that we can expand to a different part of the community. This does not address their need for an outdoor space, but they're very excited that they have a space to use this summer. Certainly a concrete surface is not the preferred option. I think that they were very clear about that it's hard on their joints, and it's not the preferred option, but that it is something in the interim they support. For a future-focused proposal, staff would like to work with the District School Board of Niagara, which we have already reached out to them to identify the old tennis courts at BDSS as an option for resurfacing. The District School Board is in support of that option if we choose to do that. And at this point, there is no money allocated in this year's capital projects budget, so it would be a business case for budget time for 2019. So staff would recommend that as the preferred solution moving forward. And again, this will also be something that we have identified to our Parks, Recreation and Culture Master Plan consultant as recently as last week as being an area of interest and a trend, if you will, that we'd like examined further with the user group.
Okay, any questions, Councillor Foster?
Yes, thank you. So, first question I'm going to ask is on surface treatment. And you're basically stating that the preferred is not concrete, which of course most of our facilities in through the town have concrete, unfortunately. So what would the preferred surface be to begin with?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the preferred surface, there's a variety of surfaces that can be used for pickleball. So there's a multi-court surface that is available. You can also play even on a very trimmed grass that's available. So something that has cushion or give, if you will, so that when people are moving, a wood sprung floor is an option. There's a variety of options available out there, depending on whether it's indoor or outdoor. So at this point in time, the quotes that staff have obtained would be for an asphalt type surface that has a element of give, if you will. So it's at a cost of $41,000 approximately.
Okay, thank you. And thinking through other outdoor areas and assuming that the idea is at least to give us facilities to go and do this, I was thinking that Hillary Bald Park also has the surface there as well, which really for all intents and purposes is not used once the ice goes out after the winter time. So I don't know if there would be options to consider doing something like that with it as well, even though it is concrete. But that may be something that is depending on what the next council has to talk about with this, a quick, cheaper solution to go and do as well to at least give that outdoor opportunity. And the other thing too is if you're talking about grass as being an option too, Hillary Bald Park again is not a bad option because there's lots of flat areas out in and through it. So, again, you have maybe some tools at your disposal as you're going down the road with this that might not necessarily mean getting agreements from the school board. So, thanks.
Lynn?
Thank you, Chair McMillan. My only comment is just regarding Beamsville BDSS. With the closure, we don't know what's going to happen with that property, and I'm, to invest $41,000, and then also equipment, nets, and installation, the cost is going to go higher. That would be my only concern, is we don't really know what's going to happen with that space to invest those dollars. So I kind of like the Hillary Bald suggestion, but I guess you can't really answer that. But that's just my thoughts. When I was reading it, I was thinking, we're not really sure what's going to happen with the high school. So.
Yeah.
Just one other thing. Sorry. I was just thinking, again, thinking through other facilities and stuff like that. And of course, this is bad because it's just down the street from me, but St. Vladimir Park already has an asphalt area that they use for basketball that the kids just aren't using anymore. So again, I think there's a number of opportunities that you have to look and to just avoid getting into any pitfalls as it's going on with it. So I agree with Councillor Timmers?
Yeah, I think with the secondary school too, because it'll close in 2020, so that only gives us 2 years. And you're right, who knows what's going to happen at the end of in 2020. Okay. Anything else you need to? Oh, okay, that was fast. Yeah, we just had to make a correction to the motion. Yeah.
Can I suggest a minor adjustment to the motion? Just the implication is that the only solution is to go with the Niagara School Board with this, but perhaps maybe eliminating that and basically stating bringing back a report for budget considerations of various options for outdoor pickleball courts might be more appropriate. The school board would be just one of many.
Your reference is to part 3 of the motion?
Yeah.
To take it out and substitute?
I think the motion is actually almost pretty good, but the only thing is that just remove the discussion on dealing with the District School Board of Niagara and that site. Just basically come back with a report with options for outdoor. That will be one of a multiple that staff may come back with, so.
I tend to agree. I think that's a
Yeah.
good amendment. I support that.
So the part one and 2 are okay, then part 3, and that the committee directs staff to prepare a business case for the inclusion in the 2019 budget deliberations regarding outdoor pickleball court development, period.
And then wipe out the rest.
Yeah, okay. And then any reference to a future report on possible sites? Or just leave it at that?
I think staff can take that as
Yeah,
direction.
okay.
See the flourish?
I did flourish.
Okay, any other questions, staff, on this? Okay, the motion then is moved by Councillor Foster and seconded by Councillor Timmers. That report CM-18 outdoor pickleball court development received as information, and that the committee directs staff to implement the installation of pickleball court lining on the Fleming Center arena floor, and the committee directs staff to prepare a business case for inclusion in the 2019 budget deliberations regarding outdoor pickleball court development. Okay with that? No questions to it? In favor? Okay, the motion is carried. Okay, the third and final report is the CM 1818 Town Hall re-roofing tender awards. Anyone speaking to this report? Sarah?
I can.
David?
I'll speak to it.
Okay.
Through Mr. Chair, this report outlines the capital project that was identified in the 2018 capital project budgets for $275,000 for a partial roof replacement of Town Hall. In late April, staff issued an RFT document to the market for 10,000 square feet of roof to be replaced in Town Hall. You'll notice in your package that there is a graphic that identifies what's been replaced and what is to be replaced in this project. There have been 2 sections of the roof that have been identified to be containing moisture that need to be replaced. The project is being awarded, our recommendation for an award to a roofing company from St. Catharines. It's coming under budget at $219,000. Work is scheduled to commence at the beginning of September and wrap up around the middle of October.
Okay, thank you. Questions to the motion or to the report, sorry? Rob?
Thank you, Chair. So I understand, and by the way, this has been coming back for many years, and it's about time that this is done, and I'm very pleased. My question is on Part B, and Part B is the piece that's over top of, we'll call it the not used portion of the building, or at least that upper portion of the thing. And this isn't a matter of whether I agree or disagree with this. I think, like, obviously this has to be done, and it's important to make the capital upgrades. We have to. But I guess it would be really good for staff to come back with a decision somewhere along the line of what's going to happen with that portion of the building. Like this, it's been ignored for far too many years. The last tour that I had was when Ray Conkle was mayor, and we went with a walkthrough up there to take a look at things, and the thing that I heard at that point in time is that the floor area is not strong enough to support, going and doing renovations and things like that. So I think we owe it to ourselves as a municipality to figure out what the heck is going on with that, because if there is a financial smart move with that somewhere along the line, I think it would make sense to make the expansion and do the work that has to be done to turn that into proper space for use by the town. So I guess that's just more direction back to staff to think about. As far as replacing the roof and stuff like that, it's something we got to do. So, thanks.
Okay. Anything else? Anything, Lynn? Anything else from staff? You're fine with that then? Okay, I have a motion then. It's moved by Councillor Foster and seconded by Councillor Timmers. The report CM 18-18 regarding the award of contract for the Town Hall re-roofing tender be received, and the council award this contract to Peck Roof Maintenance of St. Catharines in the amount of $219,400, excluding HST, and that the mayor and clerk be authorized to sign and seal the contract documents on behalf of the municipality. Questions to the motion? In favor of the motion? It is carried. Okay, so that's the end of our reports. So that all the motions this evening will be presented to council for final approval in July 16th. Okay. On the agenda next then is council inquiries. Any questions from the council? Councillors? Nothing? Any notices of motion? Any announcements? And we don't have a closed session, so I declare that the meeting be adjourned. And it is now 7:33. Very good. Thank you, staff. And thank you, councillors. Good meeting.